Are we going?
Yep.
We're going. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to the Married Life of Rich and Kevin. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Rich.
And we know it's been a couple of months and we want to apologize for that. We really have no excuse other than we just let the months January and February get away from us. And we were also doing the Christmas treats and the unboxing videos was easy. But we were trying to think of what order we wanted to start the next series of videos, which is our married life together. And so that we thought a good place to start would be with how we met.
Yes.
So I will let you take it away.
Okay, so I was previously married. So going through a divorce, switched churches. The church I was going to did not believe that, they believed that it's a sin to be gay. So obviously I could not go there anymore. So I started going to a new church, and the first couple of weeks I was going there, the pastor talked about a Bible class that they were going to start teaching Bible 101, 102. And I thought, oh, cool, I would love to sign up for this class. So I signed up, and the Sunday that we met for class, I walked into class, and there sat this handsome man. And I just remember seeing him and saying, oh my gosh, he is so good looking. And so once I figured out how to get to a chair, no, I'm just kidding. No, that's how we met. It's at church.
Yep.
And he had been going there a long time before. I just started going there, but there was 2 church services, and he would go to the morning, and
I go to the early one, yeah.
And I would go to the later one. So we really never saw each other.
Yeah, until this class. And so, you know, any of you churchgoers there, Bible classes are a great way to meet people.
Yeah.
And this was the Discipleship 101 and 102. And it was an accelerated class. Normally, Discipleship 101 and 102 in a lot of churches will run an entire 12 months. And this was a really condensed version. So, but yeah, he walked in and stumbled over half the chairs in the place trying to find a way to sit next to me. No, I'm just kidding. And I saw him come in and hadn't recognized him from any place, so figured he was probably new, and thought he was a handsome guy. And as soon as he started talking about, you know, all went around, introduced ourselves and what brought us here and all this. And as soon as he started talking about, you know, being recently out of the house and recently out and divorced and all of this, my first thought was, you know, he's still got some exploring to do, and, you know, no. But you weren't having any of it.
No. So at the time, I mean, age-wise, because this has been several years ago, Kevin, he was 50 at the time, and I was 47, going to be 48 that year, but not yet,
Right.
till later that year. This happened around, when we first met each other, around July time frame.
Yeah, end of July.
And so then, you know, needed to figure out a way to break the ice. So after a couple weeks of, we met every Sunday after church service to do 101, 102 classes. I knew he was in the field that he was in. And I'm thinking, okay, I need some help with my retirement.
Yeah. Rich had just started a new job with a new company and was in the process of signing up for, you know, retirement and picking his investments and doing the rollover of your previous
Right.
retirement from your other company. And that is the field that I'm in. So under the guise of asking my advice, we started meeting for coffee at a local coffee shop before the regular services and everything, and so I helped him with explaining the investment choices and what they do and why they do what they do, and what would be my pick, for him to sign up for and everything. So that just led to more conversations and more meeting for coffee and chatting with each other in the parking lot after 101 and 102. And I was not interested in, I was more interested in finding someone to, go to some movies with and go out to pizza beforehand or something like that. I wasn't looking for anyone to start having a relationship with. Wasn't opposed to it, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't a goal. And so he was just relentless with and very blunt. And hey, I think that, paraphrasing here, but hey, I think that we should start dating and things like this. And so anyway, my resistance broke down, and over this time period started seeing what an awesome guy that he was. And so we started seeing each other first part of September? Labor Day weekend,
Labor
wasn't
Day
it?
weekend. That's what I officially say we started actually dating is Labor Day weekend. So yeah, I mean, we started Labor Day weekend of 2015.
15.
Yeah, and we just, he had his place, I had my place, things like that. We built that relationship over time, things like that, and
We weren't in a hurry to, move in together or anything like that. He still had child visitation hearings that were getting settled, and I had exams that I was studying for. So it wasn't practical at this point in time to think about, moving in together or anything like that. And so that was actually, it was a good thing to begin with, but it had several other benefits. We had the opportunity to get to know each other over time and see how we each showed up in everyday life.
Right.
How we handled stressful situations, how we handle finances. I got to see what kind of father he was to his girls, and just absolutely a phenomenal one. And so that was important as well. Who would want to get involved with a guy who was, a crappy dad to young girls, and even if they did, largely reside with the ex. So, and it was a good opportunity for him to, we got to see how each other handled
Yeah.
stressful situations. We got to see, what behaviors were consistent, and there was no mad rush to get to know each other's, core beliefs, core philosophies, interests, all of this. So it really worked out well.
Yep.
And then after, August of, 2017 was when we got a place together
Yes.
at Sunrise.
No, well, yeah.
Yeah. And so 2 years into the relationship is when we actually log
Fireplace.
fell in the fireplace again. 2 years into the relationship is when we, were convinced that he's the one. And so
Took
we,
2 years.
yeah,
No.
at our age, we weren't wanting to run the risk of getting invested in a relationship that was not going to work.
Right.
And this was just a way to, preserve where we each called home, and just in case it fizzled after 8 months, 18 months. And so we got a sweet place together, and then a year and a half.
So I want to go
After
back
that?
a little bit.
Okay,
We're jumping
yeah.
a little ahead, and it's all good. I mean, it's and everything. So after I started going to the church, you know, freshly out, don't know a whole lot of certain things and everything. You know, I was, you know, seeking God's assistance, finding a nice Christian man. I have already met Kevin at that time, really didn't know him yet or anything like that. And then also when I first moved out, God told me, you know, I don't know, you know, but God told me, you know, you need to get in your car and drive. Didn't tell me a destination, didn't tell me where, didn't tell me anything, just get in your car and drive. And so, but in my mind, I have two young girls, I have an apartment, I'm trying to get set up, I'm going to 101, 102 classes, I have work, I have this, I have that, and so, you know, telling God, I can't right now, I just can't, I don't, I just can't. So anyways, but I remember, like I said, praying, asking for God for a nice Christian man, you know, things like that. And I was looking at an app on my phone. I'm not going to tell you which one. And God said, take the apps off your phone. You don't need them. Take them off. You know, I found you a nice Christian man. And knowing that really the only nice Christian man that has presented himself to me recently was Kevin. So knowing that, okay, he's talking about Kevin. Oh my gosh, that's that nice Christian man that he is talking about. He is giving me that signal that it is supposed to be Kevin. So I didn't have any doubt in my heart, in my mind, anything. I deleted the apps and I just had my eyes set on him with God's assistance. So, but anyways, you know, I went in the time frame before we moved in together, and we were still going through our dating phase, really. Everything. I did go on my little trip. I decided I'm going to go to Michigan. Never really been to Michigan before, and actually I'm not sure if I've never been to Michigan before. And so, but I didn't make any reservations. I just got in my car, did what God told me to do, and I drove. And I drove to Michigan and spent the night. And I just like, okay, I'm here. I journaled. I wrote like you wouldn't believe on my journal, and took photos and just sit there by the lake, off of Lake Michigan, and just prayed and pondered life, things like that. And I decided, okay, I'm done after one day in Michigan. So coming home, I was thinking, so this is funny. So coming home, I called Kevin and told him, say, well, I'm done. I'm on my way back to Indiana. And I said, but I'm just letting you know, I put your address in my GPS. And he says, don't you know your own address? Why would you put mine in your GPS? And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? And then the light bulb went off, I think.
Yeah, I just thought, dumbass doesn't know his own address. I mean, he, you know, granted he just moved there, but you think you would have written it down and stuck it in your wallet or something. And I kept thinking, why is he putting my address in? Because he lives clear across town. If he comes to my place, only to turn around and go home. And so he just kept repeating it over and over again. No, I put your address in my GPS. And then the light bulb went off, and oh, okay, all right. Let me know when you're approaching, and you know, I'll make sure that I'm home and the place is picked up and all of that. So yeah, I can sometimes be Captain Oblivious. We'll get to the washer or dryer.
Oh, I don't know
There's
if we
another
should
thing.
do that.
We'll do that another time. But it's all Skynet. They're all the appliances are coming to kill us. But so it took several minutes for the meaning of what he was saying to sink in, and so yeah, that I guess was the official beginning of our life together.
Yeah, and that was Labor Day weekend. I
That was
believe.
Labor Day weekend. Yeah. Okay, so flashback over. Where
Okay,
were we?
so we moved in together, and that was in 2017.
August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so things are going good. We really connect really well. And so at New Year's Eve of 2017, I proposed to him at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
So we've been there a couple times on New Year's Eve. We kind of made it our place to do, and our thing to do. And so so that New Year's Eve, I proposed. Then
I said yes.
yes, yeah. And so yeah, there was no. I was gonna say no question.
Yeah.
So anyways, and then it's interesting because we would go to church regularly, things like that, and coming up at that Valentine's time frame, February, the church said that they're going to be having a New Year's Eve dinner dance in 2018.
Yeah, for the coming New Year's Eve.
And so we thought, well, we're going to sign up. I mean, that'd be interesting. And so we signed up. And then a couple months later, we were thinking, hey, we're already going to be wearing tuxes for this New Year's Eve dance. We're already going to be going to a New Year's Eve dance, and it's going to be a dinner, and everything's going to look good.
Nice venue.
Why don't we get married there? So we called the church. We talked to our pastor that married us, and associate pastor, and sweet woman, and she agreed. And that's what we did. We got our tuxes. We
Showed up about an hour early
Yeah,
before
and-
everybody else.
and so got married before the actual dance started. But we did kick off the dance. Didn't get the song that we wanted, or at least I wanted. The song that for some reason never really meant a whole lot to me growing up. But I was driving home one day, and I called him up, and I was in tears in my car, and it was Crystal Gayle and Eddie Rabbitt, Just You
Just
and I.
you and I.
And
Came out in the early 80s.
just for some reason, I thought, that's the song. That's the song. And so the people doing the DJing couldn't get it to pull up for some
Yeah.
reason. You would think, but anyways.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it to pull up, but they did play a song, and we don't have a clue
What it was.
we don't know.
Yeah,
we,
but-
we did kick off the dance.
Yeah.
They announced that we just got married that night, and it was all wonderful and beautiful and awesome. And
Yeah.
and actually, if you go to our Married Life of Rich and Kevin on Instagram, that photo is actually our wedding photo that we took when we got back home. What we looked like in our tuxes.
Yeah.
Really good.
And, but yeah, Just You and I. Pull it up on your Spotify, pull it up on YouTube, give it a listen. It's a wonderful song. Again, probably 82 or 83 is when it came out. I remember I was still in high school. Eddie Rabbitt and Crystal Gayle, both successful country singers. Eddie Rabbitt has since passed. And Crystal Gayle is the younger sister of Loretta Lynn,
Yeah.
the queen of country music. And Crystal Gayle is still one of my favorites. So it has become our song, and it's just wonderful. So give it a listen. And so that was our wedding day. We unfortunately at that point in time, neither of us believed that if we actually had a ceremony and invited people, that anyone would really show up. And so we decided to just scrap a traditional wedding with guests, and sometime afterward we would throw an open house. And we haven't done that
Was
yet.
it
Because
bad?
yeah, we didn't do it in 2019, and then of course 2020 happened with COVID and all of this, so it's still on the back burner. We want to do something eventually. We got a very nice wedding gift from our friend Arena. Beautiful bouquet of
Oh,
white
gorgeous,
flowers
gorgeous.
and a nice card signed by the people that I paint with in
Yeah.
my art classes, and so that was enough. That was really beautiful, and nice of her to
Yeah,
do
very,
that.
very wonderful.
So let's see. So we were together as a couple, living separately for 2 years. We were cohabitating for a year and a half before we got married. And we just, this past New Year's Eve, separated.
What?
Celebrated!
We didn't.
Sorry about that. Celebrated our second wedding anniversary. I'm going to pay for that one later.
Wow.
And sorry about that.
Separate.
Oh goodness! And so that's really
about it.
that's pretty much it. I mean, all kinds of twists and turns, and God's hand in everything. I almost interrupted him when he was talking about when we started dating. I got a really funny gay joke here, and a lot of you all out there will get a chuckle out of it. But what does a gay couple do on the second date? What second date?
Yeah.
So, but we had a second date and a third and a fourth and a fifth,
Yep,
and so that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. I know some of the future videos we would like to do is our coming out video. It'd be separate videos that we want to do. Just feel like it needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. I mean, we want to do what our life is. That's hence the fact of Married Life for Rich and Kevin, where our daily life is kind of like, and
Yeah.
how we plan, how we do certain things, how we work our finances.
How we're planning for retirement, how we're, how we do
I mean, we're
charitable giving, how we do.
planning on buying a house hopefully in a year. So how we're going to go through that process,
Right.
things like that.
And dealing with just, because I mean, now I'm 55, I'm going to be 56 here in a couple of months. How we're handling getting older, and just
and not just us getting older, our
yeah,
parents getting older, and what they're having to deal with, and how we're going to have to cope with that.
right, and help them in all of this. So subscribe if you haven't already.
Definitely.
Please, we'll put the links to our written blog, which also we'll have this video on it. Plus, there is some written content on the other blog that's not present on the video blog. So go ahead and please subscribe to both. If you have any questions for us, anything that you'd like to hear about that we didn't cover, please leave something in the comments section, and we'll address it if we feel it's appropriate. And that's it for now. So we won't be letting 2 months pass before the next video. Probably no more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll get into the reason why we were delaying some of the videos as well.
Yeah, you'll understand it later once you see some of the other videos.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody take care, and we'll see you all later.
So yeah.